Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is my latest project. You may have seen my history folder that I've done of it. I've just picked this up to save it from the scrapyard. Thanks to a kind gentleman who I bought the car. He let us have it at a great price, and my hope is to get it back on the road again. Really, all that's a matter of it is a few issues which I'll go through now, and it needs an MOT. So we'll go around, we'll have a quick walk around the car, and I'll go around what it actually needs for the MOT. Some of it's obvious, some of it isn't. And no, that isn't there's something wrong with my camera, that is actually snowing. I was wearing shorts last week. So, it's immaculate inside. Over the moon with it, actually. Nice electric seats. Very comfortable. See, it's got all the cruise control in this one. The other 406 didn't. There's a cruise control, automatic lights. Nice gauges on the dash. You know, you've got you've got the oil temperature, which is nice to have, a rare feature. Climate control, automatic dip dimming mirror, rain sensing wipers. You know, 20-year-old car, and it's still got an airbag deactivate switch. Great for having my son in. Lovely. But the real good part with this car is the engine. It's got the 2.2 diesel in, and you've already seen that history file on the books. It's unreal. I mean, look at these back seats. Lovely. Same in the back. Huge boot for the dog. Fantastic. I've got a boot buddy to go in here and boot liners and stuff. So that'll be getting done. So really, we'll start from the front for MOT reasons. I'll just switch them on. I noticed it when I drove it home. So you can see there's a headlamp out on the front. See, so I've actually got a set of high-powered bulbs, just standard ones. So since I've got them anyway, that'll be going in. Clearly that's an MOT issue. I'll just knock the lights off. And as you can see, the headlamps are... It's nothing to do with the MOT. It's barely even an advisory, this. But I'm going to give them a little clean up. They'll come up perfect, actually. I'm looking at these with the kit that I've got. They were barely being advised on the MOT, but we'll clean them. This one's a little bit worse. I'll get them cleaned up, a bulb in, and then we'll move around to the wipers. They're all weird sizes, they're all hanging off and everything. I mean, look at that. The whole blade. I don't know how it's been driven like that. So that's that. I've noticed this back tyre is a little bit off on the edge, but believe it or not, like I've mentioned this on an MOT, you've got to go off what you call your primary grooves, and this area here is not primary grooved. I know it looks absolutely horrendous, and this is one of these kind of tyres when a car comes in that I hate having to pass and advise. You can see it's still got plenty of tread above that primary groove, that one, and that one. This tyre would be a full pass, even though you can see a little bit of damage there, it's just minor. But I think what I'll do is, once I get the car checked underneath, I might just get a new tyre put on this side. And moving around to the back, I haven't checked the bulbs on it yet, but I'm sure there was a number plate light bulb out. But new rules of the MOT state that if you've got two number plate lights and one works, it's a pass and advise. It used to be a fail. It's only if you've got one number plate light, it becomes a fail if it's not on. So I could pass and advise it, but these are a nightmare to get out though, these things. I'll probably do it before the test. It's just better having it done than not. I just think when you're driving around in an old car with one number plate bulb on, you're just asking to get a pull off the police. This was the only bit of rust really, but my other 406 was exactly the same. There's not much you can do, unfortunately. Just maybe pick up another boot, but it's not going through. I might just touch it up with some touch-up pen. Again, wipers. This here scratched all the glass. The guy who owned this car, I think he said his son had been using it or something, or you know, but I think a wiper, I've got all the new parts. A wiper would only cost £3 or £4, and it's gone and scratched all the glass, unfortunately, so there's nothing I can do with that now. But I've got a new wiper to go on. We'll have a look what else was there. This back tyre here is getting a bit perished and a bit low, so I might get two new back tyres on it, but MOT reasons, it is quite badly perished. Like, I'll probably get two back tyres on it. This was the other note down here, I don't know if you can see this very well. This sill's been like, it's had like a patch put in. It's solid, absolutely solid as a rock. And bearing in mind for an MOT, you're only allowed to use finger and thumb pressure and a plastic hammer, so these people go and brain on with screwdrivers and stuff. But I'll show a video when I've ground that down. I'm going to put some pure rust on it and treat it with some stone chip. But the rest of the sill's perfect all the way along, as well as the other sill. Let's go around and have a look. This sill's all factory brand new. There's not even a mark on it. As you can see, that sill is perfect. So they're the few little jobs that I'm going to do to it. I've got the parts on the bench actually. So there's a Bosch rear wiper to go on. A proper set of front ones where it's got the aero, like it's got like a little spoiler thing on it, so it looks like factory. Oh, sorry, forgot the main point. Front wheel bearing. When you're driving it sounds like an aircraft taking off. Definitely the guy told us that was gone. I knew about that. So there we've got a front wheel bearing for it. Original equipment, FAG. I've already been on about this kind of brand in the Strafer group. It's still okay. It's stamped on the bearing, fag, but for the price of the car, it's original equipment. It is stamped on somewhere there. I could have gotten a bearing for half the price, unbranded, but I wouldn't even waste my time. So that's that. And I've just got a few pollen filter, air filter, oil filter, fuel filter, sitting here with all original equipment. I'll probably not get round to doing them for a couple of weeks yet, because I want to check the car over on the lift first, get it MOT'd, and then worry about things like that. There was one little bit on the front wing. You know, we're dealing with a 20-year-old car here. You know, a little bit starting there, but I'm not really interested. It's just, I'm just going to use it as a kind of, you know, for taking the dog out and running about where I don't want to be taking me out 200. But this is my favourite part of this car. It's the 2.2 HDI. You won't find many 406s with this engine in. It's very, very rare. I think it's got 140 brake horsepower, these. But this one in particular, it compared to my other 406, which was the 2 litre HDI, which was the 90 brake, this just is on another level of refinement. It's so quiet and nice to drive. And oh, that's the other fault it's got as well, is I don't really want to set these wipers away, but the screen wash at the front isn't working, which probably explains why the wipers are hanging to bits, where somebody's just been keeping them going on a dry screen all the time. So I'm actually going to do that now. I might try and video it and see if I can I'll get the new wipers put on. As you can see, that's got the spoiler on. That's the one I'm getting. So we'll stick the new wipers on for a start. Try and unblock these screen wash jets, because obviously that's an MOT fail. And I'll document it, so I'll just pause the video there. So welcome back. I was going to do this outside, but as I've mentioned, it is crazy how cold it's gone today. So, like I said, the front, I should have mentioned, the back screen wash is working and the pump's working. So if your screen wash ever stops working, clearly do the 3 simple steps. 1, check that the pump's running. 2, check that you've got water in. And 3, if you don't have power, check the fuse. But this one on the rear, that's something, the 4th option you can do is, if your front isn't working, check the rear. And 90% of cars now run the same pump, does front and back, not like the olden days with 2 different tanks. So anyways, like I've mentioned, the pump was running, just nothing coming through. So with this car, you can see here the washer jets sit on the bonnet, under the bonnet, rather than on the bonnet. You might have to go kind of in an angle here to see. You just see the end of it there. Just here. So what you need to do is, it's not advisable to blow in, because you're just going to blow dirt in. What you need to do is disconnect them. This is your main pipe here. Them. So if you take them off before you do anything, just switch the ignition on, and then that way you'll know if you've got a leak or a blockage further down the system. I'm pretty sure that with this it's going to be these. So if we spray it now, there we go, see it come through? Same with the other one. There we go. So now we know that we're only dealing with a blockage in the jets. I'm going to try if I can, let's see if I can mount this on the roof without the phone come toppling. I'm just not sure how well I can do this. So you'll have to bear with us. As I've mentioned, I'm very much an amateur when it comes to the recording. I know this is on at an angle, but bear with us. What I'm actually doing here is... Nah, I don't think it's going to work. I'll actually mount you down here somewhere and point it up over. I'll just pause it. It's not perfect, but it'll do. So you can see what I'm doing. I've got the high pressure air. You don't want to go mental with this, by the way. So you just bring it up and you put it onto the tube and blow it through. There we go. Perfect example there. I'll just show you when I come round. I'll do the other side. Obviously, I can't see this, but it'll just take us 2 seconds. Compressor had to kick in, of course. Sorry, the compressor just kicked in there. So what you'll see here, if you notice on the screen, I don't know if you can see that, as well as it just being water, all this black stuff here on the end of my finger, see that there? All that's come out, if I can try and get it, that's all come out of that jet, all that dirt in it, the same at the other side. So now, we'll pop the pipes back on, and we'll see what happens. Right, so there we go, that's the pipes cleared. I had to put the new wipers back on. I could not wipe the screen with the wipers the state they were in. As you can see, it's had a bit of a wrestling match trying to fit these wipers. I forgot how stupid these were to fit, because due to the design of them, that's as far as you can lift them up. The left hand one's not as bad. I had a new wiper on, but this one didn't. It's crazy design. Even when you bring them right up, because of this pivot point, it only allows you to lift the wiper that high. But anyways, moment of truth, we'll switch the ignition on and we'll see if we get any water. Ah, there we go, perfect. We'll do it from the inside, you can see it better. There we go, perfect. So now that's one job sorted for the MOT. I'm not happy that that wiper's catching down there, but I need to take this off anyway to change the pollen filter, so that'll get readjusted back up. So I'll just pause it there. In the next job, in fact, you don't need to watch us do it, but the next job's going to be this back wiper before it scratches the screen any worse, and I'll come back to you. So I'm going to leave this one here. I'm going to keep these as just short, sort of 10-minute videos as I go along with this car. So I'll do a separate video on cleaning the headlamps and putting the new bulbs in, as we know it's got a bulb out. And I've done the wipers, you've seen that. I'm going to do the rear wiper. You don't need this to video that. And like I said, these wipers need lined up because they're in such a mess. So they need, obviously I need to remove them anyways because the pollen filter sits in there. So I'll realign those back up. They normally leave, they do, see? Just in case anybody knows. See, can you see those marks in the windscreen? Them? Manufacturers usually leave them in the windscreen, and that tells you where to line your wipers up to. And obviously this one's far too high and this one's far too low because it's catching the wing. So I'll deal with that. It's nothing to do with an MOT, the wipe and everything, now the work. So just in case anybody makes note about these pipes, I'm quite OCD making them nice and neat. I have not done those, by the way, before anybody comments. So like I've said, I've got them new bulbs to go in. They'll be next. I've got this stuff here, which is like -20 screen wash, which obviously with the system, if you can, when you've got blockages, I'm going to draw this out with a vacuum pump, put fresh water in with this high concentrate screen wash, which will hopefully help it from clogging up again. So we've got that to do, which you don't need us to video doing. And this car drives fantastic, but it's got a little bit of lag to it. And it's normally always these mass airflow sensors, and this looks pretty old and original. And a few months back, we scrapped a Citroen Picasso with a similar engine, and I'm going to check up on this. But this is brand new. This is the proper. Is it written on anywhere? It'll be hidden somewhere there. It's in amongst all the writing. So I'll just give it a rub. It's a proper Siemens one. Excuse me. So the fact I've got it lying round, 120 quid part. I'm just going to put it on and then do the codes, clear the ECU, and it'll probably make the car drive a whole lot better. So that's something else I'll save for a separate video. I'll try and document as much of the wheel bearing as I can, but it's an in-depth job, stripping the hub down and everything. It's a bit awkward trying to do it, because at the minute, as you can see, I've got a 1952 Austin Champ with an oil filter issue, so it can't be started or moved, so we're struggling this week for space in the garage. So really, once it's on the lift, I want to crack on and get that done. I'll probably show the sill when I grind it down and clean it. Where have I got this stuff? I forgot, I was going to put this on the bench. This is what we're going to do. No, I'm not going along the lines of spending hundreds of pounds on doing the wax oiling. This is just going to get, and no, this does not run off and make oil on the roads for motorbikes and stuff. It's, in fact, I'm sure it even says there, extra tacky. Multi-purpose grease, just on a cheap scrap value car. 4 cans of this, less than £15-20. That'll cover the majority of the important bits underneath the car. And a can of black, just budget range stone chip, so when I grind that sill down, the repair on the sill down, cure rust it, and I'll spray this on over the top as a finishing product. So I'll probably do a separate video on those as well. So I'll leave this one here for now, and I'll come back to you with another video soon. Thanks. If you like it, like, subscribe, and follow on these. I'm going to try and number them, part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if this is the kind of thing you're interested in, let us know. I can do more of this, as well as just reviews and that. In fact, them headlights I'm putting in are the extra Nightbreaker silvers. So we'll see if they're any better. Got to be better than what it's at, because we're just running with one bulb at the minute. So, yep, like, subscribe, comment below, and thanks for watching. Bye.